Hello everyone, and welcome to this video about the holding procedure in the Q400. We will be looking at NDB and intersection holds in a non-FMS aircraft in later videos, but in an FMS fitted aircraft like the Q400, VOR, NDB or intersection holds are, to all intents and purposes, the same thing. This is only a short video, as the procedure is pretty straightforward. Today we're going into London City and have been told to hold at Jacko intersection. As you can see from the chart, Jacko is a non-standard hold in that it is a left-hand pattern, unlike the hold at Southampton in the previous video. We therefore have to use an inverted hold diagram to visualise our entry into the hold. The hold procedure itself is, as we said, left-hand circuit with an inbound track of 265 degrees, outbound 085 degrees. We have an LHA, a lowest holding altitude of flight level 80, max flight level 140, and we have a maximum speed of 210 knots. The chart also tells us that it's a standard 1 minute hold. As you can see, we'll be arriving at Jacko from Inlim on a track of 160 degrees, and looking at our hold entry diagram, you'll see that this will just about require a direct entry into the hold, though it is very close. If our inbound track to Jacko were less than 155 degrees, as you can see, 265 minus 110 degrees is 155 degrees, so if our inbound track were less than 155 degrees, then we'd need a teardrop entry into the hold. Do look at the previous video on the channel to remind yourself of the various entry procedures if you've forgotten. The Q400 FMS produces three kinds of hold: the HM, which is the manual termination hold, in which the pilot terminates the hold himself; HA, which is hold to an altitude, the hold then terminates when the aircraft reaches an assigned altitude; or HF, which is hold to fix. The last two are pretty rare, certainly in UK and European airspace, so we'll be just looking at the standard manual termination hold. Particularly in this case, as we've been cleared to the hold by air traffic controller, we're not absolutely certain when it will end, though in real life, if you're being put in the hold for traffic regulation purposes, then air traffic will usually give you an idea of how long the delay will be. To select a hold, select the manoeuvre section of the nav page of the FMS. Selecting the holding definition page brings up the holding presentation. We then line select against the fix we wish to hold at. We then define the inbound and outbound tracks of the hold, and also the turn direction. In the time section we put 1, as it's a 1 minute hold, and time in the FMS is entered in minutes and tenths of minutes. You will see that the entry section tells us how the FMS is going to enter the hold, and this is calculated automatically, and in the real aircraft it's based on the navigational leg prior to the holding point, but I think that some of the holding behaviour in the Majestic Q400 still isn't quite right, so you can see it's still showing parallel at the moment because it's based on our current track rather than the track of the leg from Inlim to Jacko. To fly holding patterns, the FMS uses the in-flight wind and basically uses the same vector trigonometry that you could calculate on an E6B or a Dalton computer in order to adjust the legs according to the time or distance we've set in the holding definition page. You will also be able to see that as we decelerate the aircraft, the holding legs automatically get smaller in order to achieve our 1 minute inbound leg as selected in the FMS page. So you can see on the navigation display now that as we get slower, the holding pattern gets smaller. Once holding definition is complete, we select armhold, and this means that the aircraft will automatically enter and then stay in the hold. The direct to hold option allows the aircraft to go straight to the holding waypoint and enter the hold from the aircraft's present position. If holding is planned at a waypoint that isn't in the FMS flight plan, only a direct to option will be available. To leave the hold, you can use the direct to page of the FMS to select the next waypoint you want to fly to, and then fly an LNAV to that next waypoint, and the aircraft will fly directly from the present position in the hold to that waypoint. Or you can select the proceed option, which means that the aircraft will finish the hold, so it will fly overhead the fix before then carrying on to the next waypoint in the flight plan. I thought I'd finish with the flight analysis diagram of the aircraft entering the hold at Jacko. I'm afraid to say that the Majestic Q400 behaviour in the hold, I think, is still a little bit out. You can see that it performs a direct entry of sorts, though it's a bit skew-if. Nevertheless, the purpose of the video really was to show you how to set up the hold procedure in the flight management system. And as you've seen, it's pretty straightforward procedure. Any questions, do let me know in the comments section, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching, folks.